What's going on YouTube, fellow truck drivers, soon to be truck drivers? I'm Bashir. Today's video is going to be about Smith & Solomon Trucking School and what you can expect if you're going to be attending. Also, I'm going to tell you if I recommend it or not. You're just going to know the whole thing on Smith & Solomon. So first things first, before I begin, I want to make something clear. Smith & Solomon got the job done. Alright, I got my CDL. They was able to give me a flexible schedule because I was working full time at the time, a day shift. So they allowed me to come in on the weekends, and they allowed me to make payments. So they were flexible financially. They also offer loans. I didn't take out a loan. I was just making payments, and I'm gonna get a little bit more into that later on in the video. But before I get into the real nuts and crannies, I just want to make it clear that Smith & Solomon got the job done for me. All right, for me. With that being said, let's jump right into it. This is gonna be an honest review, 100% honesty, and so the course or the class, the program, the training, whatever you want to call it, cost me about $4,000. I want to say $4,000 to $5,000, maybe $4,900. I got the receipt in there somewhere. I just don't really feel like looking through it, but it's around that ballpark. So be prepared for that. Some schools are a little bit more expensive, but this one, to me, I thought was all right. That's manageable, even if I did take out a loan or not. Believe it or not, I actually did take out a loan from the credit union. It was a small one, but it wasn't the big one. All right, so you called up the school, told them that you're interested. They're gonna pretty much be like, look, how you want to pay for this thing? You want to take out a loan? Do you want to make payments? Do you want to pay up in full? Boom. You answer that, you take care of that part, and then you're gonna have your first week of class. All right. In this first week of class, for the first 2 weeks, is gonna go over pretty much the essentials of what trucking is going to be all about. Pretty much what you're getting yourself into. Certain rules and regulations and expectations. A lot of videos on what the truck does, how it maneuvers, and how you need to make turns and things of that nature. Unfortunately, they're going to go over some graphic stuff where you're going to see some accidents happen and things of that nature, and how to avoid them and all of that. So for the first 2 weeks, you're going to be in the classroom. Now, I was at the Norristown location, so our classroom was in Norristown and our yard was in Bridgeport. So yeah, first 2 weeks you're gonna be classroom. Then they're gonna tell you, look, go get your permit. All right, it's gonna be a written test. All that means is it's gonna be multiple choice. I don't know why they don't just call it multiple choice, but they call it a written test. And you're gonna have multiple choice questions on like air brakes, general knowledge, and there was one more. I forget the other one, but it's gonna be like 3 sections. You pass that joint, you get your permit, then you're eligible to start practicing in the yard. All right, so the rest of the class, after you get your permit, the rest of the class is going to be in the yard. That's where you do your skills, your pre-trip inspections, things of that nature. The rest of the class, no more classroom, everything's gonna be in the yard. You drive the trucks and all of that. So here's where the shit starts to get a little funny. All right, literally, not on your first day, it's random, but they're gonna go through certain things only once throughout the whole time you're gonna be in the yard. Like, I learned more from other students, so don't expect the instructors to just be lecturing you every classroom. Like, for the most part, you need to know that they ain't really gonna teach you shit for real. They're gonna give you a book for your pre-trip and how to go through it. Inside this book, they go over skills and maneuvers and shit like that. But as far as the inspection go, they probably will run through that joint one time, and then that's it. You're on your own to keep practicing and repeating that shit. And I recommend asking other students who are also doing the same thing, you know, what's this part of the truck, or you know, how do you do this, or what, you know what I mean? Like, don't be afraid to ask questions. You feel me? Because other students may know things that you don't know, and you might know things that they don't know. All right, but don't expect the instructors to just be on you 24/7 about this is how you do the pre-trip inspection, because they not. When you landing in gear and doing couplings, that was the third section, the coupling system. But anyway, when you're doing the coupling system and the landing gears and shit, they went over that one time. They didn't keep going over that over and over again. They went over that once and expected everybody to know that shit. With the maneuvers, they didn't even really do it in the truck. They talked about how to do it and shit like that. So maybe in the future I'll make a video on how to, you know, parallel park and offset the truck and shit like that. But don't expect the instructors to pretty much walk you through every single step. The majority of the time is going to be you teaching yourself and students, you know, teaching you, and you learning from the other students and whatnot. So that's that. So yeah, you're gonna pretty much go over in the yard. You're gonna go over your pre-trip all day, every day. All right, whether you're doing weekday classes or weekend classes, pre-trip. Feel me? Where you go through the truck and point out, all right, this is how it's supposed to look. It ain't messed up. You know, specific parts of the truck. Once when you get that down pat, you're gonna be doing skills. You know, straight backing, parallel parking, offset, things of that nature. And you're going to be doing them interchangeably too. You're not always just going to, they want you to come in and start first with the pre-trip and then do the skills, but it's pretty much a free-for-all out there. Like, so one weekend or day you may feel like just jumping right to the skills and then doing the pre-trip later. It's like that. All right, it's not really structured if that's what you're expecting. That's just not the case. So once when you get, you know, a little bit more comfortable with the pre-trip and the skills, you're gonna pretty much be trying to go out on the road with the truck and an instructor. Here's the pain in the ass thing about that. Everybody else is trying to go out on the road with the instructor, and for us, we only had 2 instructors. So if 2 people going out on the road, then you ain't going out on the road. So what happened was, it'd be 3 of us out on that same truck, and we just take turns after about 10-15 minutes or whatever driving. So I would recommend just pretty much hanging inside the truck if you're really trying to go out on the road. That's what I had to do. Like, they some of them might get annoyed and be like, yo, get out the truck, it's his turn. Cool, whatever, but you're gonna have to bogard your way into getting out on the road, because there's only 2 instructions, and you need those reps. You need that time. That don't mean be rude and a dickhead and go upsize people's heads just so you can get on the road. But you know, if that means you gotta hang in the truck and kind of get on some people's nerves just a little bit, then you gotta do that to go out there on that fucking road. All right. So yeah, then you know what I mean, you're gonna go out on the road. They're gonna take you around, and they're gonna practice you know, how to drive out on the road with the with the stick. By the way, don't get any restrictions on your license. I know people are saying most new trucks today are automatics. I'm trying to tell you from my experience in the Northeast region, that is complete bullshit. It's like a myth. All right, I'm driving a stick shift right now for my company. I know a lot of companies who still use manual transmissions. All right, and quite frankly, the ones that are doing automatics are over the road. And some of you, if you're watching this video, maybe you want to do over the road, but if you're anything like me, you probably are not trying to do over the road. I don't know, maybe you are, but yeah, the over the road cats are doing automatics. They don't want them fucking shifting all day. But if you're trying to go home every fucking day, chances are they're probably manuals, man. They probably manuals. So don't get any restrictions. You're gonna have fear because you're new to it, but if you're having a hard time with it, that's a good thing. That means you're learning something. Just go in there and keep practicing. You don't even really need to go out on the road to practice your shifting. The more you do it, you'll get a hang of it, I promise. But anyway, but yeah, people are gonna try to go out on the road all the fucking time. There's gonna be some people who have like favoritism, sometimes it's gonna be like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's a pretty diverse environment. So if you gotta, like, we had a white instructor and a Spanish instructor. Sometimes, you know, we would notice that, all right, you know, some of the Hispanics had a little bit more leeway with the instructor than, you know, some of the whites or some of the African Americans. No big deal. That's just life. But expect that. That's all I'm saying. Same thing with, you know, the whites. So, you know what I mean? Like, that's just how people are. I have no issue with that. That's completely understandable. Hell, they might even be the fuck related. I don't know. But expect, you know, a little bit of favoritism. All right. Oh yeah. So from my experience, my instructor was a pain in the ass. I mean, like, while I'm driving, you know, he's making jokes about me and fucking clowning me. Like it, I got pretty thick skin, but after a while, if you know you got a test coming up and you still making mistakes and then he's still talking shit about you, that can get under your skin. So, I mean, maybe I don't have the thickest skin, maybe, I don't know, but I would recommend for you to go in there with some thick skin, because you gotta remember, man, it's a masculine environment, all right? So you can't be out there bitching. You probably might have one lady in your class, maybe two or something like that, but when your instructor, with the boy that you trying to learn from, you spent $4,000 on a fucking class and they don't want to teach you shit, and you got him in your fucking ear about, why would you do that? Have you lost your mind? Are you stupid? Like, this shit like that, it can fuck with you. Because at the end of the day, you're trying to learn how to drive trucks. You're not already, you don't already know how to drive trucks. You feel me? And I heard from an alumni at Smith & Solomon that it was actually originally a school for truck drivers who wanted to get back into trucking, who already were familiar with trucking. And so maybe that's how it is, or that's why they were yelling and talking shit. But again, my instructor was like that. Was all my instructors like that? No, but the majority, the one that I spent the majority of my time with was. Now, there was one other instructor who closer towards my test. He was laid back, cool. We actually had a one-on-one session. He had me, you know, work on more repetitions for shifting out on the road compared to just driving around and shit like that. Because I had a big issue with downshifting. Now I'm good. This shit is easy as hell. But I did have an issue, you know, downshifting at the time. And when you got one instructor that's making it difficult for you, and you got another one, you want to go with that one more. So, but anyway, just expect that. All right, so you are familiar at this point. You're probably going to be, you know, later down the line, you're going to be more familiar with the pre-trip. You're going to know that shit from the back of your hand. Again, if you need me to give you some studying tips on what I did that helped me out, let me know in the comments below, because I mean, it helped me out a lot. I failed on my first try, but not the skills or the pre-trip. I failed because of the downshifting, but I passed on my second try. All right, so for studying stuff, I got some gems for y'all. Let me know in the comments below if y'all want them. But anyway, once we get more familiar with the pre-trip inspection and the skills and the road test, they're going to schedule your test. They're not going to, now let's say you were making payments, right? By the time you get done making your payments, on average, will be over, I think, 160 hours, and I think that's the minimum that you need. They're going to schedule it automatically as soon as you pay them in full. Now, if you paid up front, everything, they probably will schedule you after you get your 160 hours. But if you were like me and you were making payments and shit, they're going to schedule you once when you're finished making payments. All right, but you got to get 160 hours in. So yeah, they schedule you, boom. If you don't make your payments consistently, like if you skip payments and shit, it really isn't a big deal. But you need to understand that depending on how bad you're skipping and how much you're skipping, they're going to try to put a little thing in your sign-in book like, don't train him, don't train her, and shit like that. I got one of those once, even though I was making payments. They were small payments because the lady who was, you know, taking care of the finances, oh my gosh, she had an attitude. Y'all know who she is, but in the Northtown location, I'm gonna leave it at that. But anyway, she would pretty much I couldn't. All right, so it was like I think 600 every 2 weeks, and I'm like, I don't have 600 every at the time. I don't have 600 every 2 weeks to just be giving you so I can train. So I would do maybe 100 or 200, and sometimes they'll be like, yo, where the rest of this bread at, and try to hit you with, oh, you owe, don't train him. So be prepared for that also. But I still went out in the fucking yard. I still did what I had to do, and you'll be able to also. Now, again, back to the test part. They schedule you. You're familiar with the pre-trip, the skills, and the inspection. Or the pre-trip inspection, the skills, and the road test. That's what you're gonna be tested on. All right, you're gonna go to the testing center. For me, it was in Northeast Philly, and you're just gonna go over everything that you train. It's gonna be a little nerve-wracking. Be prepared for that. But yeah, that. And if you need me to make a video on what the test is like and shit like that, I got you. Just put it in the comments as well. I don't want to spend too much time on it because, you know, it's a test. You're going to go through the shit that you've been practicing. But once when you pass the test, they're not going to give you your license right then and there. They're going to mail it to you. You feel me? Just make sure when you go to that test, don't forget your paperwork because you got to bring your permit and a bunch of other shit. So please don't drive all the way to Northeast and forget your fucking paperwork on your test day. Just don't do that. But yeah, you pass, boom, they're gonna mail your shit, you're gonna feel happy as hell, and you are gonna start applying for jobs, and there's gonna be jobs out the wazoo for you. All right, now if you had if you got like a a DUI or some felonies and shit, it's gonna be a little bit difficult for you, but it ain't impossible. If you need me to make a video on that, I got you. In conclusion, Smith & Solomon got the job done. I got my CDL from them. They were flexible financially and with my time because I needed to take weekend classes. All right. Would I recommend Smith & Solomon? Yes. If you need flexible scheduling, where if you work during the week and you're trying to go on the weekends, do that. You feel me? Because they can do it. Now, I don't know if every school can do that for you. If you need to make payments because you don't have the money up front or don't want to take out a loan, do that. You feel me? And if you really need a career change right the fuck now, right away, yeah, just know that the instructors really ain't gonna teach you shit. You're gonna have to be able to learn on your own. You're gonna have to fucking study. You feel me? And yeah, just be prepared. Just be prepared for a lot of frustration in the beginning until you get used to it, because you're going to be mad. Every student there is mad that they're learning on their own. You feel me? There's not nobody really teaching them. All right. But I mean, hey, one of the instructors told me that the students at Smith & Solomon are the best drivers at certain companies. So like I said, it worked out for me. And it is what it is. And yeah, like I said, I recommend it if you're in that position like I was. All right. I needed a change. I needed flexibility, and I needed that shit now. So hope this helps. Like the video, comment down below what you want to see next. If you have any questions, again, if you need me to go in depth on how to study, what the test is really like, and shit like that. All right. Or if you have DUIs and felonies and shit like that, put it in the comment below. All right. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. Subscribe. Again, I probably won't be making too many trucking videos because I make beats, so there's gonna be beat videos. But my new channel that I'm starting, Bashir Hopewell, you may be able to get, if you're not, a rapper or a producer, you're not into that stuff, that channel might be a little bit more for you. So I would definitely check that out, Bashir Hopewell. Subscribe there. It's gonna be more universal, like with blogs and studying tips and book reviews and just more vlogs, just things of that nature. It's not gonna be catered toward music as much. So yeah, I'm about to get up out of here. Like the video, comment down below, subscribe. I'm out. Peace.